So welcome to the Node.js Next 10 meeting for May 14th, 2025. We'll follow our standard approach of going through and looking at the issues that were tagged for the agenda. So before we start, does anybody have any announcements they'd like to share? Okay, if not, I will move on. So I'm just going to say no announcements. Okay, so funding for the Node project status updates. That one was open just to kind of give an update on some of the proposal for the website. That one's kind of in my mind stalled on the foundations told us we couldn't do what we want to do in terms of promotion, so somehow something needs to be figured out. I'll just say stalled for now. The next one is the 2025 survey. So Marco, I have an update on that.
The survey is online. I think it's going quite well. Last update, it was 1,300 respondents, which is not bad. We should keep sharing it online, social media, and try to get as much involvement as possible.
Yeah, we want more than last year, which was like 3,000 or something, right? So
yeah,
you're talking to anybody, please promote and ask them to fill it out.
Could it be a banner? I actually just pulled up the Node.js website because I realized I forgot to fill it out. And I was like staring at it for a good like 3 seconds before I found where it actually tells me, like, here's the survey link.
there should be a PR to make it into a banner, but I don't know if the PR was merged.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. There was some discussion. I don't know, Marco, if you saw that they agreed to that or they decided to do this other.
Yeah, foundation, because before there was the banner for the JSConf ticket sale, and foundation agreed to put the next 10 server instead.
Okay. Right, because I see it on the site like there's so, and you mean like at the top along that top banner versus the next 10. Yeah, okay, sounds good. Okay, good. Anything else we want to chat about on the survey on that front? Okay, if not, the next one was set of base questions for collaborators. I think we did discuss that last week and we had some questions back for Jean. I'm just opening up to see if there's anything more that, yeah, I don't see anything more to, so I don't think we have anything more to discuss on that front. Okay, following discussion from survey perf and diagnostics. I think this was like from last survey, we were thinking maybe we should do something on the perf and diagnostic side, but I don't think we've done anything yet, so. Just gonna say no update. I think the next one is similar. We're still hoping to see the ambassador program ramp up a bit, and then we could maybe switch focus to that. So I'm gonna say no update on that. And that takes us down to the end of our agenda, but we did want to talk about the ambassador program, and we have Eric here, one of the ambassadors. So I think that we could use whatever time we need left to sort of dive into that. So I think like we can figure this out probably as a group here, like what makes sense to do. We were talking the last meeting, it's like, hey, it would be good if like at least this team, and maybe we can get other people as well to be a little bit more synced with the ambassadors that we've onboarded, figure out like, is there things we can be doing to help, or are there things like us and us also help us understand a little bit more, progress and stuff that the ambassador team is planning.
Nice. I actually sent some emails on the previous list, giving some ideas on what we could do. But I think like we can start with something smaller, like a monthly live stream in the channel showing what is new or what is in the release, and actually doing some podcasts, bringing like the main contributors for some features and talking about or something. I had a bunch of ideas. I pinged a lot of people there in the mail too, but I know that it's like it's not a big effort, but I think it's also an effort. Like we're gonna need some thumbnail. We're gonna need those people to sync up in the same time. So I try to bring all the ambassadors together to do this, but I think this could be like everyone does a different would do a different action for the month. I don't know, because bringing all them in different time zones, it's kind of hard now. I don't know, but I think live streams would be nice, especially because we just released the Node 24, right? So we have a lot of cool stuff that we can go from 24 to backwards and show new stuff. And from my side, I've been doing a lot of things on YouTube, mostly in Portuguese as well. But I'm open for ideas as well, right?
So I sorry, go ahead, Marco.
No, I was just wondering if you have the ability to stream on YouTube. Do you have access for that?
I don't think so. Let me see.
Okay, so if not, you can request it on the admin repo, and then we
Nice.
can like at the live stream we could schedule it as a um next 10 or an
Perfect.
ambassadors meeting and stream it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would make it also easier.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess it's in my mind, it's like we should, in the admin issue, we should say requesting it to do this, right? Like there'd be, so like typical request is like, hey, I want to chair the meeting, right? This doesn't sound like it would, that's going to be it. So I think we'd want a little bit more information. It's like the goal is to do a monthly, weekly, whatever live stream
Got it.
on, and it might be good to provide a little bit of context, like, well, every month we are going to choose a new feature and we're going to do a live stream, or every month we're going to choose a collaborator and live stream, discussion with them. Just, I think having a little bit of the context of like, hey, here's what we want to stream every month. Doesn't, just so that people have a bit of an idea.
Perfect. I'm gonna create the issues there with those ideas. But basically, I thought like every time we have a new release, we're gonna have a live stream. Like probably major releases should be nicer. But every time we have there, and monthly, I will start creating those proposals to get more collaborators in some topics, and actually invite them to reach out as well, right? So people who want to talk as well, right?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think, and I can understand your part, like, it's each ambassador could do something different. So like, you don't all have to get together, but like as a whole, even like, one of the things we did do is we put together a list of messages. And that in my mind would be a good thing to say, like, okay, we want to have a series. So every month we're going to talk about one of those messages. Right. And if you look, I think the ones we have already there. Node, I'm just looking in Node. Doc. Okay, right here. So I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Like we have 4, so that would be like that could use up 4 months of if you're doing one a month, that could use up 4 months of like, hey, here's one of the messages that is important to the project, and let's have a live stream that gets that message out.
Nice. I think it's pretty nice. I don't know if we should try mentoring like people from the community to start writing blog posts and also helping out, because most of the ambassadors they're pretty busy as well, so we cannot create a lot of stuff, but we can try mentoring people to start creating content as well, right? Not sure only on YouTube, but blog posts helps a lot, Twitter and other social media. So this is probably something nicer too.
I like that idea because definitely like having the ambassadors have a program or whatever you call it that like expands the reach. That's a really good idea. I think part of the work going into that would be how do we promote that content and like what is the getting agreement across the project? How like if you teach people how to do it and they do it, what do we do to maximize our benefit from that, right? Just because I I think it would be nice to be able to say that like, hey, if somebody does some content under this program, well, it's going to be promoted by our social media, right? Like,
Got it.
right. And I'm not sure that we have agreement that that would happen today, right? So like that would be the kind of thing I think the ambassadors could say, like, we want to have this program. Here's like the content we think we want to like encourage people to deliver. And if they do deliver it, we want to have the agreement that yes, it's going to be promoted on our all the socials basically, and through whatever other channels make sense.
I remember there were a newsletter, and I'm sure if Node.js had a newsletter. I think on Medium we had there like a blog post with all the new changes and like a summary or like a newsletter, I would say. This would be something nice. Like if you create content, we're gonna promote you on the main page of the Medium on the Node.js, and this might help people to get more interested. But it's hard, right? It's especially open source is sometimes I don't know how people, I don't know if it's only sharing on social media would be something interesting for them. I can start like asking around as well what, but
I
it's,
definitely like
yeah,
the like newsletters or whatever other things. Like social media is just the one that I bring up because I know we have those channels.
sure.
But I think that's something that, you and the other ambassadors hopefully have more experience, like, because that's so it's figuring out what's gonna be most effective to get the messages out and what's gonna be most effective in terms of, you know, making sure that if we do encourage people that yeah, we get it out and people see it.
Nice. I mean, there's some more ambitious stuff that we can think. Like every time we're gonna release something, we get some contributors to write a blog post showing the tutorial, not only the docs, right? We have the docs always there, but when we go there and then nowadays we have the notable changes. So this would be like notable contributions, I don't know, and goes there. Because for me, the notable changes is one of the best things we can see in the Node.js with your name, right? So for people contributing, getting there in that email or in that blog post that goes in the Node.js official blog, this might be good. Yeah. I
The
mean, most of
issue the
people.
issue that we found so far is getting people to do work, because even for notable changes, people are not interested in writing notable changes. So when we release, we have like releases have to write the notable change itself.
Sure.
So I think it's gonna be very hard to ask any contributor to do like a lot of people push features out, but they're not interested in
Yeah.
advertising. Yeah.
But my point would be like mentoring other people to look at those new coming features and so on, and start writing blog posts about this. So we have two separate things. We have one people writing the content and the other are writing the actual feature, right? So people who's not coding anymore or who doesn't know how to code in the repo might be helping on write blog posts. I don't know, but it's just ideas, right? Brainstorm. There are a lot of stuff we can do.
I'll agree with Marco that like so I think like the like mentoring and finding people might be interested, always good idea to search out, but I kind of think Marco put his finger on the well the problem, or at least the related thing in my mind is like yes, we'd like some work put into like better description of doc and all sorts of things, right? But
Sure.
we want it done so that like effectively the person can't tie it back to the place they work. They can't get any credit for their
Sure.
employer. And so
Mhm.
that makes it harder for them because like, their employer's like, well, I would like you to do something that helps and promote you. So somehow it's like figuring out how to thread the needle where
Nice.
we can make it enough. So
Mhm.
in my mind, like this is my opinion, where it's like beneficial to the project,
Sure.
but it's also beneficial to the individual in a way that motivates it to happen, right? And like that's where it's a bit of a challenge, I think.
I mean, when I started contributing to Node.js back then, my first contribution, I got a pin from Node.js. So this was like, wow, this is amazing. Pretty simple, but was lovely for me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you can create badges on LinkedIn or on badges on the GitHub that people could, I don't know, mention or have their name there. Like if you, but this problem, I see a problem there. Like if you give a badge of a
Yeah,
contributor, people is gonna contribute once and then they have a badge, they won't contribute anymore, right? So this is, I
exactly.
don't know.
Like we don't want like a status thing, right? Like what we
Yes.
want is like you wrote a blog post. It was great for the project. It was also great for, you know,
Mm-hmm.
for the other reasons that you get paid, right? Like
Sure.
figuring out how to make that the case because that's a sustainable model, right? Because that means like,
Exactly.
okay, well, the next time we need, that it's great for the project to do this. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what we quite, is
It's hard.
is the hard part. Yeah.
I would say, yeah, I can write up some ideas later, but I would say it's hard because we cannot say like I'm gonna put you on a mail list. So every job we have, every offer some people ask, I'm gonna send to you. This is hard as well.
Yeah, it's not
So
that kind of thing. I think it's the
uh-huh.
can yeah, I don't know the actual answer, right? But like, I've seen some requests in our social channel that say like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, can you promote this article? And it's like, nope, that's too like we're not going to
Corporate.
promote the things which
Mm-hmm.
are too tightly coupled to your
Your
to
company. Mm-hmm.
you or like that aren't just generic. You know what I mean? So there's a line there, right? And clearly the answer has been no, we're not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so it's, you can see people struggling a little bit with like, but that's what's going to let me continue to do this, right? And so if we could figure that out, I think we could at least I would hope we would be able to
Mm-hmm.
increase the volume of promotion and of the project itself, right? While also helping
Sure.
people.
I mean, there are things that I'm not sure if would fit with Node.js and anything, but like for me, I have my YouTube channel and some companies they pay me so I would add like a 30 seconds announcement about them and I
Yeah.
get paid for this. I'm not sure this is something would be good because we're gonna have to like measure what is the company product and how is the contributor is doing this publicity and as well. So
Yeah.
this I'm not sure if this fits through the thinking a lot of stuff, but yeah.
So yeah, I don't think we're going to solve it today, but that's just
No.
one
I'm gonna.
thing. Like if we're looking to mentor people, and this is where
Sure.
like I get to like we really want to make sure that we've got
Mm-hmm.
the program set up so that it's like the rewards are there to make it like you said, we don't want a one-time contributor,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like that's the wrong incentive. We want something which
Exactly.
is a win-win, and therefore it's just like, well, of course we continue to do this.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I think the best way now, the easier way now, it's social media, as you said. Well, we're gonna have a wrap up of all the content we have in a month, and we publish in all social media, mentioning and thank for your contribution and more. This is something that it won't take a lot of effort, I think, and still for people like seeing there in the major social media would be nicer until we find a better solution.
Sure, yeah. So yeah, I think like one concrete thing is, yeah, if you can open that admin issue, say like, hey, I'd like access to the
Perfect. YouTube channel.
the Node YouTube, and the plan would be, and I think it's good to just put a few parameters around, like, hey, we plan a stream once every X time, and here are the
Perfect.
kinds of things we would end up streaming, right? Like,
Wonderful, wonderful. In case, let's see, if I wanted to, I don't know, instead of live stream, we would do a video, like showing Node.js internals, solving bugs, like Rafael is doing in his channel. But we will need like some video editor. Do you know if there is anyone who's editing videos in the Node.js project?
I'm not
I
aware
just
of
don't
any.
want to add costs.
No, no, I don't think there is, unless you can find someone to volunteer for it, but
Sure.
no.
I mean, let's start basic, right? Live streams is the the only thing I'm gonna have to do is the cover for that and schedule and measure time, and then we can try and figure out another options as well. Keep it simple, right?
Yeah, that should be fine. So once the issue is open, you can tag the Node.js ambassador, so we can say that this is a Node.js ambassador thing.
Yep.
And move from there. I think if we go on the YouTube channel, there are some videos that are not meeting recording. So I think this was done in the past somehow, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, the ones that aren't, do you have an example around, or?
Is it for me or Marco?
No, for Marco, I was just wondering.
No, I'm just going through the playlists in the Node.js account, and there are some like technical videos, like code and learn stuff, or like videos that are not just the recording
Right, okay.
of a meeting. So
I think like the code and learns we may have uploaded in the past, right? Like if we recorded
Yeah.
the session and.
I pasted it in the chat so you can have a look.
Yeah.
See if there is something similar to this. There are also like talks at conferences. So yeah, there is a bunch of things.
Yeah, I think we used to upload like the conference recordings as well there. But yeah, I mean, anyway, it sounds like a good, I don't know if there's anything else we could do to like maybe highlight them a little bit more, or like, here's a series and here's what's upcoming in the series might even help people to say like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to plan to watch that one, right? Versus the ad hoc.
Yeah, I was thinking on creating the stream like 1 week or 2 weeks before we start sharing, so we get all those people there, and probably we try getting people to the Discord channel as well, right? Because it's the main channel now, and then we start publishing there what's happening and try people to engage. But yeah, I completely agree. It must be at least 2 weeks in advance so we can start sharing, because it's gonna be the first time as well.
We also do need to coordinate with the foundation because they manage the socials. So like, I think in the, like, it's almost like it would be good to have a proposal written, like, and maybe even something that's in the ambassador repo that says, although maybe, I know the ambassador repo is not public, but somewhere public that says, like, here's the proposal of the overall thing we want to do.
Perfect.
And in there, it would be good to have like, yeah, we're going to do a stream every so often. Here's the parameters, blah, blah.
Sure.
And then
do you think
go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say in there as well, like I think we should have the ask of like, and we're gonna ask that the foundation posts, tweets at, you know, this is our ask to the foundation staff, right? Because like if we ask them to tweet something every hour, they're going to say, well, that's too much, right? So if we can pick some, you know, let them give them a heads up, and then they're like, yep, okay, we expect those requests when they come, that would be good. And then we could refer to that in the, both in the admin repo to say, hey, we want to give access for streaming for this program. And you could also use the same thing for the foundation, saying like, hey, we want to, you know, get your agreement that you can support this program as we've asked in you know, in this document.
Sure. I think I can try doing all the schedule. So, we're gonna have in 10 days, I want to do this screen. So every Friday, publish once on the social media. I can try creating all the plan. So do you think it's better for creating this single plan, like for just one live stream, or for the recurrent? I think that's
I think the recurring thing.
Recurring, perfect.
Like basically here's the program that we want to do, and that will be a live stream every month. And I'm just picking a random number, but like, here's our goal. And so therefore, you know, what we'll want is access to the Node live stream to do that every month. We are asking the foundation staff to help promote each stream, each entry by doing X, Y, Z, right?
Excellent.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And even if you can have like, and here's my example of the first 4 I would like to do, right? Like, I think if it was me, I'm like, oh, okay, that gives me a good feel of roughly what, you know, the plans are to cover. And and here's the kind of topics, like, and you know, you've thrown out a bunch of ideas, but just having a list that's like every time there's a major release, we would probably have the live stream for that month be on the major release. You know, you could say, I want to do interviews with collaborators, right? So that would be the thing. I want to go over like the messages that we've landed in the ambassador program documentation. We're going to spend some of the live streams to talk to somebody from the project about those. And
excellent.
Whatever other ideas you have, and having that PR'd in somewhere, then somebody can say, well, hey, here's another good idea.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I think one thing that might be good in the future, it's like having, I know, actually now we have it. Like I used to be a TC39 educator outreach. So it's a program of them. They bring all the ambassadors, the contributors there, and they show us what is going on and what is probably coming in the next few weeks. So this is probably I'm gonna find here in the next 10, right? This is the call for getting all this info, right?
Yeah, as sort of much as there is, right? Like the Node project is very I would say it's like driven by the individuals, right? So it's not necessarily like we have a roadmap. It's that like, yeah, people are working on these different things, but we can probably help. Like if it's like, hey, I want to do a stream on it. If you figure you want to do a stream on X, we can probably be a good resource to help you find the right people or figure out if there's stuff.
I would say like, this is gonna be nice, like with TypeScript. TypeScript was something huge, but we should have done some stream before releasing. Like, wow, today we're gonna release the TypeScript experimental in Node.js. So for next ones, we're gonna have like breaking news like this. We should do the live stream first, right? It's amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that's a good concrete next step in terms of like, okay, you've got some ideas to ramp up. We've got some things we can, you know, when we get back in a couple of weeks, we can see if there's anything you're needing help with or anything like that. Any other things we should chat about this week? If not, I'll say thanks for everybody's time, and we'll see you in GitHub and next, I guess, in a few weeks. Thanks.
All right,
Cheers.
thank you.